Hello there, Master Hellish here, and welcome to my Railroute tutorial series. More about me can be found out on my website, which has links to lots of things including my Discord. Now this video is part of a series, and you can find a link to the playlist in the video description. Today we'll be looking at what Railroute is, and its two main game modes, Endless and Timetable. But first up, what is Railroute? Railroute is a tycoon management game, and you could say it's a little bit simulation and maybe a little bit puzzly too. Now, in essence, you are controlling traffic on a railroute network. As you can see here, we've got a train going down rail lines with signals and all sorts of things. Now, you can build your own network and optimize and expand it. There's various unlocks in the games to get new technologies, upgrade the infrastructure, upgrade your automation. You can have elements added to the interface, and you can also manage bigger and better contracts. You can design and share your own maps in-game as well with the editor. In Railroute there are two main different types of map, and Timetable is the first one we're going to take a look at. Now, Timetable is a scored map with a predefined timetable. That's where the name comes from. And you have to be as precise as possible, because what you're trying to do is run it as efficiently as possible to get the best score as possible. And at the end of the day, it's that score that you're trying to get. Timetable games tend to be shorter, and you can see a time lapse of me playing one here. And once you've played one, you can play it again to try and beat your score and improve and get a better and more efficient timetable put through. Now, these scored maps are much more puzzle-like in nature. They have a predefined set of trains on a schedule, and you have a predefined track layout. You can't change around with contracts or anything like that. There's no unlocks to have to worry about, and you don't change the design of the tracks. You will just work with what you already have and what you've been given with. Now, your one and only goal in this game mode is to get each of the trains on the timetable to each of their destinations on time. It's a relatively straightforward goal, but there's various challenging elements you have to consider whilst trying to achieve it. Trains may want to use the same piece of track, for example, or you may have to decide which way a train needs routing or which platform it needs to go to. You may have to decide which train needs to get to a certain platform first in order to allow them to arrive in the right order. This game mode provides a nice little bit of challenge, and if you want a quick bit of puzzle-like action, this is the mode for you. It's fantastic. Endless mode is the full game experience. There's various different maps to choose from, or you can make your own. We'll talk about the map editor a little later in the tutorials. When you start an endless map, you'll notice there's a large number of different things about, and mostly greyed out, and you actually start with just a relatively small, simple network. Now, you also start with a small number of contracts. These contracts represent the trains that will be going along your network on the timetable. To expand your network, you need to purchase platforms and auto blocks, and you'll have to build track, and you'll have to place signals upon it in order to expand out. Now, building track and placing things like signals costs money. So you need lots of money. You get money by completing contracts, by dispatching trains from one place where they are over to where they need to be. Now, in addition to getting money, when you complete trains' journeys in the contracts, you get experience. You can either get the green, standard experience, or you can get the red, advanced experience. This experience allows you to do certain unlocks. Now, there's various different unlocks in the game which helps you with contracts, with automation, with more controls, or upgrading the interface. Now, once you have a bigger network built, you'll be able to handle more trains on it, so you need to accept more contracts. Contracts have benefits in terms of money and experience, like I mentioned before, and they want to go from a place to a place, and there's different sorts and types of contracts. We will look at these in more detail in the future. So there you go. You can start with humble beginnings and expand into bigger and bigger networks. Playing this game mode is a right challenge, but it is really rewarding. It's fantastic to see all the trains running on your network, going through in a nice orderly way to their destinations on time, and doing so takes a bit of skill to get right, and that's why it's so fantastic and rewarding. One of the best things about this game mode is that very early on you have to do everything yourself. You have to tell the train which platform to come out on, whether to switch a signal. You have to choose the routes and directions of the points and turnouts. You have to do every tiny little thing yourself. But as you expand your network and take on more responsibility, there are more tools and options and unlocks available to you to make your life that little bit easier. As you go and progress through the game, you find you're doing less and less of the tiny things, and you're looking more and more at the bigger picture. This fantastic balance between manage everything on the small scale and looking at things on the large scale is a brilliant process to go through, and I find it really enjoyable. So there we have it, the two main game modes in Railroute, and they're both brilliant in their own right. Now, in upcoming videos, we've got information about the interface, controls, dispatching, rail networks, contracts, and more. So if you're not already subscribed, consider doing so to keep up to date with all that, and also everything else that I have on my channel. Put all your thoughts, ideas, and questions down in the comments section, and I will see you soon. Thank you very much, and for now, goodbye.